Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for all of the love on my last video. So if you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Robyn and this is Effie, and welcome to Robyn's Corner, where I share all of my hobbies, which are a lot, which leads me into today, which is going to be my tutorial on how I made these beaded felt ornaments for Christmas, which is something that I talked about in that Crafty Girl gift guide. And I only just taught myself this year how to make these, so I thought that I would release a tutorial to show you all how easy it is to make these cute beaded ornaments for your friends and family this Christmas. I also want to note that some of the beaded ornaments that I made were from this Mondo Llama beaded ornaments kit from Target, and I'll actually be using some of the supplies from this kit. But you'll note that the tutorial on the side of this box doesn't actually link to anything, and I ended up having to finagle some of the supplies to make it work. So if you're also having difficulties with this kit, keep watching this video because the process that I use you can use for the Mondo Llama kit. But today I'll be creating an ornament completely from scratch to show the full DIY experience, and stick around till the end where I'll be sharing some more tips and tricks specific to the Mondo Llama kit. So without further ado, let's jump into it. First, I'm going to collect all of the supplies that we're going to need. First up, some embroidery needles. I recommend using two sizes for this, so I have a larger needle with a larger eye for the seaming and a really small needle with a small eye for the bead threading. You'll also want a needle threader. Obviously, you'll need some felt and some embroidery thread, as well as some stuffing. This is somewhat optional, but I like the look of adding a little bit of stuffing inside. Next, a bead tray and beads. Again, these are optional. If you don't want to bead your ornaments, you definitely don't have to. And this beading tray is definitely optional, but has helped me in the threading process. Let me adjust. That's better. Okay, now that we've collected all of our supplies, we can jump into making our ornament. So for this ornament, I'm only going to be using one color of felt since I'm only making a letter ornament. I'll put some inspo on the screen, but I've also made some of these felted ornaments with a bunch of different colors and pieces, and the process is entirely the same for embroidering and sewing together afterwards, just with more colors. So to first trace out your design, there are a few ways you can do this. I'm going to be just tracing out the letter that I want on the front of the felt, and then cutting a second piece by tracing it to actually use that as the front and the initial piece as the back with the lines. But you can also, if you're more talented than me, write whatever shape you're cutting out backwards and use that as the front because your Sharpie lines are going to be on the back. Or you can actually trace off of your phone by flipping the image. Long story short, you want no Sharpie tracing lines on the front of the piece that you will be embroidering. So once you trace that out, you can go ahead and cut out the first piece. And then you can cut out the second piece by tracing that original piece you cut out. So if you did it the way that I did it, you'll now be taking that second piece that you cut out and using that to embroider on the front. So next we're going to collect our beads and then thread our needle using our needle threader. So you're going to start by using the smaller of the two needles, and you just want to make sure that the beads can fit through the entire needle. Also, as a tip for this embroidery process, I recommend using a thread that is the same or similar color to the felt being used so that it blends in. But for this tutorial, I'll be using white, so hopefully you can see the process that I'm using a little bit better with a little bit more contrast. Now, this is definitely not the best way to do this. I would recommend for the embroidery portion using one strand embroidery thread. I unfortunately didn't have this, and also for the Mondo Llama kit, it didn't come with anything super thin, so I actually ended up pulling apart the individual threads of the embroidery thread. So if you only have thicker embroidery thread at home to do this, you literally just have to pull apart the threads and unwind as you go. So once you have your thread, you're going to first thread the needle with the needle threader, and push the needle down past the large eye on the needle threader. Next, you're going to thread your strand through the eye of the needle threader and pull the needle off the needle threader, and it'll thread the needle for you. Before we start actually embroidering, you want to be cognizant of where you will be stitching. Let me bring an example. Okay, so as you can see here, the blanket stitch goes about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch down into the felt. So you definitely can embroider close to the edge and fit the stitches in between, but you just need to space your beads accordingly to leave space for the blanket stitch, or you can also just keep it safe and only embroider about 1/2 an inch into the felt. Okay, so let's make our first stitch. So usually you would tie a knot at the long end of the thread you're using before embroidering to secure the thread on the back side, but I prefer to leave a tail and tie it with the tail at the other end instead, because this thread is so thin and I feel like it can pull through the felt really easily. I feel like tying the two ends together is a little bit more secure. You're going to work from the back to the front and simply come up wherever you want your bead to be. So remember, for this first stitch, you're going to want to leave a tail at the back unless you have a secure knot, and you only need this tail to be long enough to tie at the end. And I try to be strategic with my embroidery so that I can end up somewhere close to where I started so that I can tie them easily. But you just need to be careful about this tail. Make sure it is on the back and that you don't weave it in or pick it up in your later stitches as well. So after you've come up on the front of your work, you're going to gather your first bead on your needle, and then you're going to re-enter as close as possible to where you first came up, this time working front to back. Then carefully pull it tight, and voila! Also, just as an aside, these are the size beads that I am using today. And then you just continue that process. So you just continue working back to front and bring it up where you want the next bead, stringing the bead, and then working back down where you just came up. I find that sometimes if you're trying to work in a straight line like I am here, it's actually easier to look on the back to see where you need to place the needle to come up. You can kind of see the line easier because of the threads, if that makes sense. So that is what the normal circular beads look like, and now I'm going to show you how to embroider with bugle beads. So for these types of beads, you're going to start the same way as you did for the other beads, from back to front and where you want one end of the bead to be. Then, just the same as before, you're going to string that long bead, and this time you're going to make sure you push it all the way down so it is snug at the felt. Lay it down flat towards whatever direction you want the bead to lay, and you're going to enter back through where you want the other end to be. Then you just pull it tight and don't get tangled here like me, and here it is. I love the look of these bugle beads. I think they add so much, and I actually made an Eiffel Tower only with the bugle beads, and it's my favorite yet. So I'm just going to be working back up the line here, and same with the other beads. Sometimes it's easier to work from the back to make sure you're working in a straight line. Okay, and here is the completed line of bugle beads. So now I'm going to decorate the rest with some little flower star motifs. So for this first flower motif sort of thing, I'm just doing a larger bead in the center with the bugle beads coming out of it like petals almost. And then adding some more decor beads around the flower. This next one is a smaller flower with just a small bead in the center and larger beads surrounding it. And now off camera, I'm going to embroider the rest using these techniques that we just learned. Okay, we are back, and this is what I ended up doing on the front. And now I can show you what I mean by tying the tails behind the back. So you can see that I worked my way around so that I ended up near the original tail at the back. So now we can just tie it together. But now that the embroidery is completely done, we can actually start blanket stitching it all together. And first, actually, we're gonna cut the little ornament hanger so that we have it when we get to it and we can just weave it in as we blanket stitch around. I have this gold thread from the Mondo llama kit, but I've seen people use ribbon as well, which is so cute, and really any sort of string or twine would work as well. I recommend cutting about 6 to 7 inches, tying the ends together, and There you go. And just set that aside for now, and we'll be getting to it a little bit later. Now get the embroidery thread. You're going to want to cut enough to be able to wrap around your ornament about 3 to 4 times. And this time we are going to tie a knot at the end because it is thicker. We're going to be using the thicker of the 2 needles, and this one has a large enough eye that I can just thread it, but if it's easier for you, you can also use the needle threader for this. So we're going to be using the blanket stitch to stitch the ornament together and weave in the hanger. Because I want the hanger to not be positioned near the beginning or the end of the embroidery, because that's just a lot going on, I'm going to actually start across on the other side of the project so that the hanger is about halfway through. I would also recommend not starting near a curve or a turn. So for this first kind of pseudo stitch, we're going to be working only into the front piece, working back to front like we did for the original embroidery. And you're going to want to work about 1/4 of an inch from the edge because you don't want it to be too close to the edge and pull right through the felt. So just work back to front, pulling it tight so that the knot is on the inside of the ornament. Now for the first real stitch, we're now going to be working from front to back. So put your needle in about 1/4 of an inch to the left of your previous stitch through both pieces, and do not pull it tight right away because you're actually going to be working through the loop that it creates. I like to put my thumb here so you can pull it tight, but it doesn't actually tighten the entire stitch down. But then you can remove your thumb and work through that loop from right to left. After working through that loop, for this first stitch, you don't want to pull it fully tight either, because the first pseudo stitch we did will actually be the last stitch at the end. So it needs to be able to stretch out a little bit. But that is the basic premise of the blanket stitch. So we're just going to repeat that process around, working about 1/4 of an inch to the left each time, front to back through both felt layers, go through the loop, and this time you can actually pull it tight. And just some tips as we go around. For the corners, I like to work at a diagonal into it and have the stitch right at the top. So just be careful with the angling at the corners because it can get a little bit funky. And you're just going to be continuing that blanket stitch all the way around your ornament until you reach about the area that you want the hanger to be at. Hey, Mama. You sound about that. Okay, so as you near where you want your hanger to be, you're going to want to tuck the hanger that we previously created on the inside, sort of separated, because you're actually going to be working the next stitch through the loop here. So start by working your next stitch as normal and work from front to back through both felt pieces, but also make sure that you are working through the hanger. And the trick here is that you're going to first thread the needle through the open hanger and then through the normal loop. And this way it won't get all tangled up, but your hanger will be securely stitched into your ornament. And after that, you can just continue working the blanket stitch as normal until you have about an inch opening at the end to add in the stuffing. Then you're going to work a few more stitches in until you are at that first pseudo stitch. You're going to loop through that pseudo stitch from the front to back, and then loop through that loop and pull it tight to make a knot over that first pseudo stitch. Then you're gonna work into the back of the felt, only about 1/4 of an inch down from that knot, and you're going to want to work only into the back and into the stuffing and back out of the back somewhere kind of far away, because this will be how we weave in our end. So you can see how it makes that pseudo stitch blend in because of how we have weaved the thread, and then you can just cut this end off and it's weaved in already. And now you have a fully functional beaded felt Christmas ornament. I also brought over some of the other felted ornaments that I made from that Mondo llama kit to give you guys some extra tips and tricks if you are using this specific kit. All of the things I've said throughout this tutorial still apply to all of the ornaments you make with the kit, but some extra tips I would give are, I would recommend honestly using hot glue for the pre-strung sequins. You totally can embroider pre-strung sequins pretty easily, and I'll include a tutorial in the description below, but for my purposes the hot glue is honestly just easier and quicker, so don't be afraid to just hot glue those down. Also, don't use the gold twine to embroider the beads because it is too thick, and also you can't easily separate it out like the normal thread, so I just ended up saving this and using it for extra hangers. Other than that, you can pretty much follow this tutorial Exactly. And with that, that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope that it was useful to you. Comment down below what felt ornaments that you have made or are hoping to make this year. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Happy crafting!